Kabam are really pushing offers in game. We have a response to the special button debacle, and where are we up to with variant 3 bugs? Yes, hello everybody and welcome back to Marvel Contest of Champions news for Monday the 19th of August 2019. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into the news stories. Our first story indeed kicks us off with the special button debacle. Now, as you know, we talked about this last week, and the fact was the placement of the buttons has changed somewhat depending on the device that you're using. Some are fine with this and some are not. As we said last week, these phones were more modern iPhone based phones. Some people were saying that it could be Android as well, and actually linking some options that they've had problems with, but predominantly those are the phones that we're dealing with. However, what have Kabam got to say on the matter? Initially, Kabam Deals says that they were able to confirm that this was a change we had intentionally made, but after reading through everyone's comments, our teams have decided to roll it back to what it was previously. This change won't be happening immediately, but within the next update, we hope to have it returned back to what it was for Yao. Which obviously opened up a few can of worms when it comes to like, well, why was it intentional? This is something that wasn't really alluded to in things like patch notes or upcoming changes, so people were a little bit kind of confused by this. Kabam Deals goes on to further clarify this point by saying, honestly, to Summoner NR did a rather good job at explaining what happens with this. We did some adjusting to try and fix some scaling with devices that have been coming out with different resolution / scaling. It can be hard work around this and try to adjust things for everyone without super derailing everything. We apologize for not making complete notice of it. That was a fault on our end. As I've said, though, we plan to change to revert back to the new update. We can discuss possible options though, as some of you do seem to like the change. So what we're up to is some people like the change, some people think it's a bit of a frustration. But the fact is they could do something similar to like other games where you have your own specific button placements. PUBG Mobile, which is a game that you used to play, they used to have a thing where you could actually put down where you wanted everything. And I know that may be difficult for a Marvel Contest of Champions, but I don't know, maybe an idea for the future that something could be implemented to show where your placements are, where you throw stuff, maybe even a case of like where you swipe, how you evade, how you parry, those kind of things. If they could be changed, not modded. Well, in some ways, yes. Could we have some like the display modded? That would be quite a cool concept, but I doubt it will be a thing in the future, but fingers crossed. In other news, there's a debate going on in the forum about signature abilities and how much Kabam shows. As you can see, this is an example here from a champion that is awakened to a champion that's not awakened, the kind of red to blue. And people are saying, well, the choices that you have in order to awaken a champion. If you've got no interest in watching YouTube, forum, even going to different sites, then you're very much rooted to the game. It's an ongoing debate. There's people for this and against this. I'm not going to fully cover it, but I put a link in the description if you're interested to go to this page and have your say whether or not you feel that more information should be given to this point here to give you more of an idea of should you awaken said champion. Next on the agenda is deals. Yes, Kabam have thrusted a lot of deals in the last few days. Some really good ones, some very obscure ones. This one seems to be very popular at the moment based on your level, the extent of what you get for the price of £9.99, $9.99, €9.99, whatever it is with your particular currency. The fact is, how do you feel about this? Now, it does seem of value to kind of go, right, you can get a 5-star for the value of this. It has certainly changed over the last 4 years. When I started buying into this game, when I first started, I was like, hey, well, I'll buy an Odin's worth and I'd get as much as 4 stars. That's all you could really get nowadays. It's a case you can get 6-star shards, fully formed 5 stars, those kind of things. But for £10, getting it isn't too bad, and some players have flocked to get this offer, but there have been others like 6-star signature stones, lower ones as well, that really have whetted a lot of appetites. But at the same time, whether or not you're buying is another thing. How do you feel about this? Put it in the comment section. Are you going out to buy any of these, and are you buying indeed the crystal ones or the signature stone ones? The signature stone one looks a little bit like this, and I see no value at the moment because I don't have an awakened 6-star, so no real interest. Yeah, I could use the 5-star one, but again, I've got all the 5 stars that I want at the moment. So unless you're trying to like super signature champion, and one for example that would go quite well with a load of signatures is a Mega Red, if you're looking to do something like that, or you were chancing your luck with what you could get for these 5-star signature stone crystals, then good luck to you. In other news, an energy spend. Energy spend hasn't actually been that bad this month in comparison with other months. It's still an exceptional amount that you have to do energy-wise. And look, let's face it, Kabam will never say, rush, oh yeah, rush through it all and do it all. So it is going to cost you a lot of energy based on, say, unit spend if you are looking to blast through this content. I personally did it in about 6 days, did Heroic, Master and Uncollected. And that was it. And then I was like, do you know what? I'll get this out of the way. Then Variant 3 comes around. I've actually taken a little bit of a break over the last few days from playing the game. And it's been nice to do that, but I need to get back into the grind again, as we all do. So if you're looking for how much you're spending in conjunction with other events, I've got you covered. So a big shout out to Royal Marshal for all this information. But as you can see, it was a case like earlier this year when we had the Xenoclast X-Men event. There is a saving on energy spend. I can't remember what was run at the same time as this event-wise, but still, it's kind of cool to see something a little bit less than normal, and it's not as bad as it was, I believe, when we had the negative zones and had that Human Torch and Nihilist base event. That was a really huge amount of energy spend. And there's been a few other events as well that really tipped the scales, going about 1,700 when it comes to uncollected. So it's not been too bad for energy spend, but I still think players feel that this is still a lot more than normal than they want to be spending on energy. If you remember last week, I got a little bit kind of ticked off with the state of bugs, especially from the implementation of Variant 3 very early on. And as it went on, there's still other things that were picked up on. And it is a real annoying time when these things happen, because obviously it's only when things go live that we kind of go, okay, well, this is broken, and this is broken. I was watching a few people streaming the event whilst I was kind of like doing some other stuff, editing a video or whatnot. And I saw this kind of thing with Gast and Spry. And the fact was the extent of damage was just friggin' ridiculous, to a degree where some people were like contacting me on Twitter and saying, oh, have you checked out this path, because you're just taking like loads of damage just really weirdly. And I was like, I gotta check this out. And it was like, damn, it's terrible. It was very quickly acknowledged as a bug and something that Kabam were working on to fix. And by the 16th of August, everything seemed to be hunky-dory, although I decided not to actually go back into this and probably wait it out and just see what people were kind of posting back on the forum to say, is it indeed fixed or not? Kabam in this time frame have confirmed that it has been fixed, but there may be some experiencing this not to work. Now I decided I'm not getting back into the path until I see a final clarification from Kabam in this forum post that they have indeed sorted out, so I can't really give you an idea. But some people are posting certain images and clips to say that maybe it hasn't actually been fixed. So hold your horses with this path. And also people are talking about the idea of like compensation for this. I really don't know. And expect if you did get any kind of aspect of compensation from Kabam, it probably wouldn't match up to the spend that you do have. So don't feel really positive if they do indeed say, yes, you'll get something back from going down a path that was obviously bugged. In returning news story, I want to go back to an old forum post that kind of blew up a long time ago, and it's kind of gone a bit smooth, and then it all of a sudden is picked up in August, and that is hitting into blocked countered by special. The big kind of load of, not allegations, but things that have been pointed out. AI response time, maybe in conjunction with age of device, also with the aspect of, well, different things, just really with the AI and maybe kind of like performance issues and changing aspects of the game. And that is that when you're running towards an opponent that's in a block stance, that when you kind of get to them or just close to them, that they then counter with a special very quickly, and therefore you're in no man's land, because you're like, I want to encourage that enemy to hit out with a special attack, but whilst you're in transit, the special attack is being thrown. Something like that. That's how I really kind of gather this to be, but I could be a bit wrong. However, from the information, it seems that this has been sparked off again by maybe this update, and especially in certain types of content. Sometimes people are experiencing this in things like the 5-star arena. More commonly, it seems to be content like Variant, or it's in Act 6, not so much with stuff like Act 5 or lower content. Either way, where do people land on this? Do they think that this is due to their device? Do you think this is to do with like AI being changed by Kabam? Do Do you think that this is just something to do with like a new update? I don't know really what people's thinking around this is. And now on to our final story, which is arena results. Now the results, they're somewhat not all there. If you're looking to get yourself a 3-star cable, by the way, a 650 would be fine. By the way, all predictions are below at the moment over there, whatever. The 4-star basic, now I did overkill this by saying about 3.1 mil, but it was a safe bet. However, doing about 2.5 mil will be safe. There's information on here to point to 2.4 mil was enough for the cutoff, so I think 2.5 mil for the round 2 would be indeed safe. Cable on the other hand, I think I did about 24 mil, but it looks like 24.1 was enough to get him. So you may have actually got him if you went for him and put 24 mil up. I think 25 to at least and at most 26 mil would be safe to secure yourself something in round 2. And then when we're going with the 4-star cable, unfortunately, that information is not there, which is a bit annoying, but it happens. If you come back to Marvel Contest of Champions True Courses page later on, you'll be able to get the full results for this. But that's my picks there. Predictions are down below at the moment. And there we have it. That has been your Marvel Contest of Champions news for 19th of August 2019. I've been Rich the Man. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content. And my Oculus Rift is just about to arrive, so I'm really looking forward to getting that all set up, and then we're going to be doing some content at some point at the end of this week or next week, which will be a Marvel VR game, which I'm really excited about putting on this channel, and I'll see you then. Thank you very much for watching. See you there.